Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to the Dark Demon Podcast 6. Here I have Sifter,
Demoncast.
Demoncast, that's Sifter, and then I also have Michael,
Hello, I'm Flame, if anything.
or Flame, yeah. I'm Gary, Gerbot, Sesti, Jerkle, whichever one you know me as.
And Sifter, like literally just Sifter.
And
That's
we're,
how I've always been for a few years now.
and we're gonna answer questions and that shenanigans.
Yeah,
Alright,
and we've got quite a few.
yee. Alright, I'll go read the first one from Hyper BR Boy. Is Pivot dead? I mean, not really.
I don't know.
It's not as
I mean,
big as it once was.
Yeah, it's definitely not as big as it once was, but it's not as dead as
hold
you
on one
would
second.
expect, I suppose. And
One
the
second.
okay. Uh, what was I saying? Oh right. It's not as dead as you would think, because we still have some active people. Not nearly as much as it used to be in the
Good old glory days.
golden days, but not not that little nonetheless.
I mean, in my opinion, as long as stick nodes exist, people with computers are like, oh, I want to get stick nodes on computer, and then they'll just find pivot.
Yeah,
So, I
essentially.
mean, as long as stick nodes exist, pivot will probably exist.
Unless stick notes comes to PC.
Yeah, then I might even switch at that point.
Yeah, same. I mean, unless the UI will be the same, in which
Yeah.
case I will stick to pivot.
Yeah, fair.
Anyway, next question maybe.
Yeah,
Or we could wait for Sifter.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is so hot.
You good?
Okay, we should be good now.
Alright.
Okay.
Next question.
Where we left off? Oh, we've
We're going
already.
to. Oh, do you want to give your opinion?
No, not really. I mean, the short answer is no.
Fair enough. Who wants to read part 1 of Don's question?
Oh my god.
I mean, we still have one more from Max Mushroom.
Where? Oh, wait, I missed it. Oh, great. Hold up.
Oh, so we're just gonna go through all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Oh wait, we have a different one on the dock, so let me just link it.
Oh, okay. Alright, well, I guess I'll ask the next one. Max Mushroom, will you be keeping up the current TDD logo? I mean, I would say reason why not. It fits. It's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if it
unless
fits
it's some
it,
special occasion,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Like for Easter,
I
can
think
put a rabbit on it.
Luna.
Yeah.
Luna was the one who designed the logo.
Who did?
Luna,
Luna. I don't remember who that is.
some My Little Pony artist.
Oh. Oof.
Yeah, I remember back in A.net, or was it darkdemon.com? Yeah, I think it was the news website. We held not we, but the past admins held a competition to redesign the logo.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been a few entries, and I think his was the one who won. So
Yeah,
we've used it ever since.
I wasn't around at the time, so I wouldn't know.
Fair enough. Speaking of animator.net, it's depressing to see how people still post there every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, holy fuck.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the guy could possibly sell the domain for tons of money, because animator.net, that's super generic, so someone would probably buy it. But I don't know. Maybe he's got
I
some
think
kind of grudge against
Adam
us.
sold it for 2K or something.
What the hell, Kamara? Alright, next question we got Don, part 1 of Don's question.
Episode 1.
Yeah. Alright, what is your thoughts about how this is all becoming a huge circle? The community started from MSN to Skype and branching off to forums, and now back to an MSN-based app, such as Discord. I mean...
So, what he's asking is, what are our thoughts
Yeah, we
about
come
how the
full
community
circle.
went from a chat group to a forum and back to a chat group again, right?
I mean, I think it's just we go wherever is most convenient.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, because
I mean,
I wasn't around for MSN, but I was around for Skype and forums.
yeah, same. Like, I mean, I wasn't around on the old DD all that much because I used to be on pivotanimator.net
Oh God, I'm
or
sorry.
pivotanimation.net. I don't
That all.
remember. Uh, and yeah, like Sky groups and all that were huge back then.
Yeah. I mean, if forums come back into relevance again, we'll probably end up going back to a forum. So
Yeah, probably.
I don't think
Like,
forums are gonna go back ever
probably
again. I
not.
mean, they're dying in general.
I mean, if Discord like somehow like dies and stuff, then maybe then
If there
the
isn't an
forums would come back.
alternative. All right.
Unless like someone would come up with an alternative, yeah.
All right. Part two. And there are also different pages that is a group or community based, such as Facebook groups, Google Plus, which is that is dead, Google Handouts, Amino apps, and Reddit Pivot. There's a Reddit. Okay, I didn't know that. As discussed in
Yeah,
the
we do.
podcast, I didn't know that. Yo, hold up, I'm gonna pull that up in the tab. All
They're
right,
most likely dead though.
yeah, probably. What are your thoughts on the aforementioned communities? Have you joined them, and how do you work? I mean, I was in a Facebook group for Pivot, but I didn't speak the language, so I left.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
I mean, most people who use the Facebook groups
Brazilian or
speak Spanish,
Spanish, yeah.
from what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, good for them. You're allowed to have your community. I can't
Yeah,
diss you guys
exactly.
for doing your own thing.
If it works, it works.
Yeah. Alright, let's see. Do you think all communities should be in one place? I mean,
I mean,
Probably not.
that would be difficult considering like Pivot's communities are like very varied language-wise, I suppose. So
Yeah, I
like it would
mean,
be extremely difficult because like a lot of people who use Pivot don't actually speak English, so it would be kind of hard to get them here.
there's also this thing about how a lot of Pivot users are like at least or about below 13 years old. And like to Discord's policy, if you're below 13, you're not allowed in.
yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
So I guess it works better for that part of the demographic to be on Facebook.
Alright, so final part of his question. Which members do you miss who are now difficult to get in contact with? Oh man.
Oh
I
man,
miss a lot of
that's
people.
a ton of people.
Yeah,
Marvelicious, Crustacean,
Yeah, Marv, fucking rip.
Nice Pants, Yogurt,
Like
Tennis.
Kawiti, I suppose.
Oh yeah, Kawiti, I forgot about her. I think
And
she's on the server.
Give. Like, I mean, yeah, I think. Was she?
I think,
Huh.
maybe. I've seen her on Discord for sure. So I had her on my friends list at one point.
I mean, same, but like, it's really hard to get in contact with her. And I think she completely like lost interest in pivot animation in general.
Yeah,
Like she
probably.
moved on to SFM, I think,
Oh, nice. Good.
which is not that bad either.
Yeah. I mean, oh man, is there anybody else? I have pretty much all the people I still want to talk to per se, either on Discord or Facebook. So
yeah. I mean, if there's anyone you want to talk to, you should find a way to find them,
yeah, it's not that hard.
Yeah, and also
unless
fucking
they're like dead.
rip Georgishi.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
happened to Juji?
I have no fucking idea.
It's like he was abducted by
Like
aliens.
the last time he was active is like in late 2017.
I sent him a message.
Late 2018. I checked.
Cause I sent him a message a while back when I moved him retired. Like, oh, hey dude, if you want to come back, there'll be a spot waiting for you. But he never opened it. So and that was like a year or two ago.
I can't believe he's fucking dead.
Yeah, man, too much DBZ. Alright, okay, so next we have loops. Pivot portal when?
What?
Never.
Yeah, never.
The
Because
portal is
the
happening.
website is already not good.
Hopefully never.
Alright, next one. Noob Sabot. Cybot. Thoughts on those DBC animators that don't accept CNC? I just don't like DBC animators, period.
Like, in my opinion, like, it's sort of natural that like they wouldn't be accepting CNC since most of the time they animate DBZ because DBZ is cool, and like most of the time they are also kids and they think that oh I put a lot of effort into it so it can't be that bad, right? And when they are called
Yeah.
out on it, they usually get upset. And yeah, like it usually goes like this.
Mm.
Yeah,
Like
like
they post, they receive CNC, that they get upset, they either throw a tantrum or they leave. So yeah,
and there's also like Flame said, uh, most people who animate DBZ, with a few minor exceptions, are just kids, and people have to take that into account when trying to give critique.
Mm-hmm. Alright, let's see what's next. Pot Borger. My question, once every OGDD member here gets old and actually focuses more into life than stick figure animations, who would hold up the server and everything else DD related? Because there's no way any of you will keep this up forever, and DD has to keep going despite old people leaving. I mean,
uh,
I'm here for at least another 4 or 5 years, just because college.
yeah. I mean, to be
Uh,
fair, I'm probably gonna be around for as long as Discord is up,
Yeah, same.
because I have nothing better to do anyway.
I mean, but when the time comes, whoever I feel the best is just,
and you
you
could
know,
all,
Yeah.
yeah, and you could also take the example of the older generation. I mean, at this point, most old people have left anyway, and now
Yeah.
we're basically the new gen.
it sort of just happens naturally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll also
essentially.
leave at some point, and then the new generation will arise.
Hmm. Alright, so next, Fury, beginner's joint when? I mean, if you guys want to do one and we have enough people, I can host it.
Didn't that
Yeah.
already happen though?
I mean, they didn't have one, I don't think.
No, it
Or
didn't
like,
really.
didn't
They
have
had
an
the best
official one, at
beginner.
least.
I know there's best
Yeah,
beginner in Dark Demon, but
Yeah, but that was more of a competition
Yeah.
rather than a joint.
I don't
oh
remember.
yeah.
I'm looking through the whatever it's called. I don't see the joint. Oh wait, beginner's joint was last posted in 2015.
Oof.
So
Yeah, exactly. That's when I remember it.
let's see, when was the post actually made? Yeah, 2014 was when it started, but it never finished. So I mean, if you guys want to do one that'll actually like be successful and people animate, I can host it. I'm fine with it.
No, like it did finish, and it was flashed as well.
Was it? I never saw it then.
It just never made it to the official channel. That's all.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that was the case.
oh, crap.
Oh well.
I mean,
So I guess we could do another one
yeah, if you
for
guys
all I
want to do
care.
another one, go ahead. I will host it. Just let me know. Alright, Tops. Will DDC 14 ever happen considering current activity and last call up not having much participants? I mean,
No,
maybe.
no, probably not.
I mean, maybe. Like, we have a lot of new people since the last
yeah, a
time
lot of
DDC
new
14.
people, but
DDC 13 was, like, released, I think. Because, like, there's a ton of new veterans, new intermediates, so maybe we could, like, whip something up. But, like, in my opinion, considering the themes of the animations of those new
Yeah,
animators, I don't think it would be as good as the previous ones.
probably not.
But I might be wrong. I don't know.
I don't know if the time ever arises and we want to do another one. We'll see where it goes. I mean, I'll
And
probably
if,
animate something
like,
for it.
if like we first like take care of the backlog of the collabs that we still haven't flashed
yeah,
yet.
exactly.
Yeah, let's not talk about the Red Button collab. Alright, next question. Tops, what happened to the chatting feature in the forum? Good question. I forgot that existed.
I mean, it got replaced by Discord
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah. Do we still need it?
Yeah.
That's really.
I mean, I remember the old
I mean,
VIP chat, and it was awful. And this is such an improvement.
I mean, if I remember correctly, the invite link for the Discord was broken. I don't remember. No, it's fine. Never mind.
But yeah,
Uh,
there's no point to it at this point. And I don't think there really was much one to begin with.
yeah, essentially.
So even back in like 2013, when it was still in its heyday, people didn't use it.
Yeah, people use Skype instead.
Yeah.
So
I remember
Yeah.
Skype groups. All right, Pot. Will y'all ever collaborate with Heinz Dojo again? I mean,
Mm,
I have no
I mean,
idea, honestly.
maybe if there will be enough people.
I wasn't there
But
when it was being organized.
yeah, me neither.
So,
I mean, I wasn't good enough. I don't think
Yeah,
because I was
same.
still like beginner/intermediate at that
I
point.
just wasn't animating. So
Yeah.
mm,
if they ever reach
I
out to
mean,
us,
I was around when it was being organized. I mean, I made it in, and there were a lot of people applying to the collaboration.
Yeah.
At least like 25 to 30 people, and only 5 were picked.
hmm
So
Only 5
for
were picked,
anything,
and only a couple have actually submitted their parts.
yeah,
So
exactly, and
that's
even
funny.
less made their part. So if should we ever do something like that again, we're gonna need like at least a quadruple of animators currently on the Discord.
I mean, maybe. Or like more people who would actually do something.
yeah, mostly that. We have 600 people in the server. I think we're fine with people.
Yeah,
Yeah, because like for every 5 people, only one actually makes something.
Yeah.
yeah.
Alright, next question from Zine. Regarding about Pivot, who has used Pivot for the longest and is still animating or still live and animating in other softwares? I mean, in this group, probably me. I started like 2008, 2009.
Yeah, I started in 2009 as well.
Yeah, so
But like, as for the oldest like
probably
member of the community, it would either be Toast or Tan.
Yeah,
Because
most
like
likely.
Tan is like a fucking
I think
boomer.
Toast is like the oldest so
I
far.
mean, I'm not sure since when Toast was around, but like he has moved from Pivot to like traditional animation, and he's really fucking good at it.
yeah.
Yeah, or whatever else. I mean, last time I've ever seen something from him was like a year ago or two.
Alright, next question from Noob Sabot again. Any tips on how to get better besides doing the basics? I mean, just experiment.
No, just do
Well,
the basics.
like I have a tip that essentially, if you want to improve, you have to like keep doing stuff that you never did before, so that you can expand your like library of movements and stuff. And like if you want to be efficient, you do stuff that you already know.
Don't
And
be like Echo.
I was applying that for a long time.
Don't be like Echo, who only ever animated jumps. I can't remember a single
Bouncy
animation
jumps,
of
the
his
whole
that wasn't a jump.
Yeah.
Or like a combo or whatever. Like variety is key.
He
Like
made a pogo stick.
yeah, like just do shit that you never did before, and like do shit that's not a fight or acrobatics.
I
Or if
mean,
you're gonna do a fight, throw
in
some
my
new stuff in.
opinion, if you get a very good grasp on the basics, you can do pretty much anything. Because, like, you know, there are those beginner exercises like the bouncing ball and the pillow or the beanbag or whatever you call it. I mean, there
One
are
sec.
such exercises that if you do them, you could apply them to actual animations or actual projects. Because, like, a lot of movements sort of rely on those bouncing balls and other stuff. You could actually
Yeah.
analyze the motion path of a lot of animations and you'll see the bouncing ball in there. That's
Alright,
good enough.
so let's see. Next, by dataism. Should the Stick Notes community be considered a different community from the Pivot community, or are they the same community but with generational differences? Also, what do you consider the major differences between Pivot animators and Stick Note animators besides different programs? Good question. Honestly,
I mean,
Yeah.
that's two questions. So like for the first one, I think like the Technos community and Pivot community have like so much in common that they could essentially be treated as the exact same thing. But
Yeah.
like it's obvious that the Pivot people are usually like a bit older demographic, because like stick notes is way more available. Because like a lot more kids has phones than they do have computers.
Yeah, a lot
So
of
like,
kids would be like, "Do you have a game on your phone?"
well, lame. And yeah, like as for the second question,
Well, because I with the community thing, I know
yeah,
I can't find the messages anymore. I probably deleted them. But I was talking about Ralph about just merging the Stick Notes forums and the Dark Demon forums at one point,
there are stick notes forums.
or some. There's a community. Well, where? Because I've seen it before. Where is it? Sticknotes.com. Yeah, they have a community. So I was just saying we could merge the two into one forum.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I think
But
that would be really good.
I think it was up to Raymond in the end, and then he had to go do life stuff. So nothing ever came of it.
Life
And
stuff
like
always comes in
the
the way.
StickNodes website is already active enough.
Mm-hmm.
Also, as for whether the communities are different, you have to take into account the fact that the guy who made StickNodes already originated from Dark Demon, which is a Pivot community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, essentially.
So yeah, like essentially, in its core, they're basically one community.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay,
As
the
for
second
like,
question.
wait, hold on. There's
Okay,
the
go
second
on.
part. The differences between Pivot animators and StickNode animators. Well, I mean, the end product is should be the same, but yesterday and the day before, I've tried extensively StickNodes, and I've gotta say, it does automate a lot of things like in betweening. Because like for in betweens you have like two ways of doing it. You could do like the basic interpolation where frames could be interpolated, and the second way is you could add like in between frames that you could actually edit.
Mm-hmm.
You could also like easily make 60 FPS animations, but it's like really tough to do. So I think like Signal is kind of better than Pivot in that regard, but in the end, like ultimately, it's more or less the same thing. There's only minor differences, but nothing really that major.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've never really used Stick Notes, so I can't really
Yeah,
comment.
me neither.
Yeah,
I
you
use
should
them
better
like,
try it on a tablet, not a phone, because I tried this on my iPad.
Yeah, I have it on my tablet. I just don't ever use it because I have a laptop with Pivot.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Yeah, that's
I used
fair.
it once on a phone, and like it wasn't really a good experience. But still, like if people can use it, then more power to them.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So last question from Zeros. I don't know how to pronounce your name. So do you think that Pivot will die out for real? I know that updates are slow and Peter might have banned it altogether. But do you think the community will live on, or will Stick Nodes take over? Furthermore, do you think a certain community will keep it going strong for much, much more time? I mean, first I can say Peter didn't abandon it. I messaged him back in like November, October-ish, asked him like,
Yeah,
"Hey,
but that
did you
was like a
abandon it?"
few months ago.
Yeah, but I mean, he said he was still making progress on it. So I mean, if anything's to go off with that, at least he's working on it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but I mean, people will die someday, just like Stick Notes will.
As all
Yeah,
things.
Yeah,
I mean, like
everything dies.
it will die, but it will not be anytime soon.
Yeah,
So like it will die eventually, just like everything else.
I mean, there's still a community of at least 600 people here. Then there's people on Heinz Dojo that still use Pivot. So I mean,
Yeah, Hans Dojo, like Don Server, like some Brazilian forums, some non-English forums, and there's tons of things that
And like
like still
Pivot
keep
and
it together.
yeah, and Pivot and Sticknotes have noticeably become more common in Jan's dojo.
furthermore, do you think a certain community will keep it going strong for much more time? Yeah, I mean, it happens with games. When games like official support ends, they still can keep on going for ages.
Yeah, like there's some legacy games like Counter-Strike 1.6 and stuff like
Or
that.
even like
which-
Half-Life.
yeah, Half-Life, Counter-Strike, TF2.
Yeah.
Like, they are still like mad popular because like the communities keep them alive for the
But even
most
then,
part.
we have a dude doing a mod for Pivot that can still add stuff to it. Or is he not doing it anymore? Hold on, I think his name was.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I don't know,
Last time I
honestly.
talked to him, he told me that he sort of is still working on the mods, but he's also working on his own thing at the same time.
Oh, fair enough, fair enough. So I mean, I don't think it's gonna die anytime soon.
Yeah,
And
okay.
that's all the questions we have.
Oh,
Holy
that's
moly.
it.
Yeah, like we have some topics to discuss, like on the first page.
Oh yeah.
So on one page.
Well, where should we start?
I don't know, at the beginning maybe,
Oh god, it's black text. Why?
because I copied it from Discord.
This is gross. Update on the community in general. The forum's death and community's migration back to Discord. I mean, I wasn't able to be that active for like a while up until a week or two ago, but I mean, it's going fine. It's going just like how it did before I started uni. The forum's death, I mean, it was bound to happen sooner or later, but it's not like the community itself died.
Yeah, like the community lived on
I
on
mean,
Discord.
Yeah, if anything, it seems as though the community has resurrected
Yeah.
because of stick nodes. Since, like, you know how Dark Demon was in some sort of a slumber for like a year or two,
Yeah.
or even more, until
Yeah.
stick nodes became a thing, and they started joining in, and that's when the activity started going back up again.
Yeah, like, and like when people like Don became more popular on YouTube,
Yeah.
because like that dude has like a fucking ton of subscribers. I don't really know the exact number. But like
About
he advertised our
18K.
yeah, like he advertised our forum on in one of his vids. Like half an hour later, we had an influx of like a fuck ton of
100
people.
people.
So yeah, like the community is not quite dead yet.
Yeah. The lifespan of the community is now reliant on the lifespan of stick nodes in general.
And Discord.
And Discord, yeah.
Yeah.
Or really just any sort of conversation program.
Yeah.
Like if Discord dies and Skype 2.0 comes out and it's better than Discord, we just hop over to Skype 2.0.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, like Skype is gonna be better than Discord because Discord isn't gonna be around anymore.
God, don't make me think about going back to Skype ever again.
Yeah,
Horrible.
Dark, dark days.
indeed.
Look at the community's forum between 2008 and 2014.
Oh boy.
I wasn't around back in 2000, but I joined in the original Dark Demon back in 2013.
Yeah, I mean, I joined the like reworked Dark Demon after it already moved to a different domain.
Yeah, I
And like
think
before that, I
Daryl-
was hanging around on pivotanimation.net.
If I can find
Yeah.
my account on animator.net, I can figure out when I joined. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, but
2010,
you should
yeah.
be like the best one to talk about it.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember when I started. Back in 2010.
So, like, what was it like?
It was active. Like every 5 seconds you'd update and there'd be at least 2 or 3 new posts. You couldn't keep up with it. And I mean, honestly, I don't remember much because I was just a really bad animator. And I would
Yeah,
post my
but, like,
animations and not communicate.
Yeah, but as like a beginner, what was it like for you to be in there?
Good question.
How did it feel?
Again, overwhelming. It's like, oh, I was competing with 500 different beginners simultaneously.
Fucking
Yeah,
Dark Demon Battle Royale.
Yo, hey, hey,
Battle
hey!
Royale
Don't leak
before
it.
Battle
It's not
Royale was a
ready.
thing.
Can't
And
wait for a
like,
pivot battle
yeah,
royale.
even though I joined in a bit later, I do remember feeling the exact same thing when I joined in, because I still remember how there was like two sections dedicated for just beginners,
Yeah, because like there were so many posts.
and the gap was
Yeah, that's
like
right.
insanely big from beginner to intermediate. I mean,
Yeah, I still remember the animation I got intermediate with, which I never should have gotten intermediate with. It was awful garbage, and I still
I
don't
don't
know
know.
how I
I
got it.
mean, if you were like intermediate in the old Dark Demon, it means you deserved it, because I remember people weren't really that lenient when it came to ranking.
Well, I mean, I also almost got moved down like 3 or 4 times after I got
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, there
intermediate.
you
So
go.
I mean, to be fair, like in my opinion, the overall level of animations has increased like a
yeah,
fuck ton since like all Dark Demon days.
Yeah, there's
Mainly
also
because like you can do much more than you used to be able to with Pivot 4.
you can do stretch, and that's all I care about.
yeah, I so true. I remember when Pivots 4 was introduced to Dark Demon, people sort of started losing it because it would change the whole ranking system because of some skill sets become obsolete.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just looking through my old animations now and wondering how I got intermediate.
I still have my intermediate animations on YouTube, but I made every single animation unlisted now, so nobody can really see it.
I don't have most of the links I have are dead because I uploaded. I
Yeah,
used Truploader, which is now deceased.
Imager
Rip.
is still alive.
Yeah, I have some Imager stuff, but again, oh man, when was this one? 2012? Oh god, it's bad. This feel like medium beginner by today's standards.
Really? Let us see.
Here's one. Let's see.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, almost. I would say it's intermediate, to be honest.
I would not.
Nice, dude. He improved.
Oh man. I don't know how I got veteran. I still make animations of that quality. Oh god. Let's see. DDD's take on stick notes and DBC. Stick notes fine. DBC bad.
No,
I
not
mean,
really. I mean, DBZ is
DBZ
also fine.
pivot slash anime versus basics training, like in my opinion, like they are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
So like you can do both at the same time. Who gives a shit? Like you can do Goku do a walk for the first time in your life. And like I don't know.
Have Goku
I mean-
walk everywhere instead of float.
In the end, it's just stick figure animations, so who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Alright, yeah.
There's how originality is underappreciated.
I don't think it is underappreciated.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
more
not
like
often.
it's not frequently seen, I suppose. But when it is seen, it's like very much appreciated by people.
Okay, I found the animation that got me almost moved down to beginner the first time.
Um,
The link is still alive. Oh,
well,
God.
it's
Wow,
taking
you
a while.
improved.
Oh man.
Epic and funny.
Epic Mimi, dude.
Well,
Thank
that's
you.
funny. I mean, it seems a bit better than the first one,
Yeah.
but I don't know what they were on about.
I mean, it was also 2013, so different standards.
Oh, so the standards changed.
Yes, a
back
lot.
How come?
Let me think how to. I don't know how to explain. It was just because people didn't know what they were doing as much back then with Pivot.
Yeah, like for the
That's-
most part, like most of them didn't really
Uh-huh.
know how to CNC in the first place. Like it was mostly based on it. Oh, I like that. Oh, it is
Yeah.
like this, and like it was mostly personal preference. But
Like if I posted this back in
this,
2012, I would be moved up to elite. But now it's just like, oh, it's a standard like intermediate veteran animation.
yeah,
Yeah, although
essentially.
I've been listening to past Demoncasts, and I remember someone mentioning back in the old MSN days, there used to be some people who had like a good grasp of the 12 official principles of animation.
Yeah, but like there were fucking dime a dozen, I think.
Right? And also, Pivot was a lot harder to use back then.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. That's also a thing.
I mean not really harder, but more tedious, I suppose. More time consuming, definitely.
Oh, Extra just said something.
Hmm?
Extra.
He's the.
Oh, Stefan,
That's all good.
he's
All
leaving
right.
for the flight. Okay.
All right, let's see. Dark Demon was
Next
originally
show.
the starting point for a few pro animators. Yeah, I think that's cool.
Wait, what
Wait,
was
the Dark
the?
Demon was the starting point for a few pro animators like Living Fall, Firecracker, Cavolia. Cavolia went pro? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. And also rabies.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Ray. He helped make
I
that
mean, Brave
Skatex
is
game.
still here.
Yeah. Ray, what are you doing?
Like,
Fucking nerd. Fucking sellout.
like, oh yeah, and how do you pronounce his name, Zuck?
Zucchini?
Yeah,
Yeah,
zucchini.
Zucchini juice.
Zucchini Juice. He's also a professional animator right now.
I think his old name was like secret name or something.
Secret name,
Yeah,
yeah. I think. That sounds
Yeah.
yeah,
right, so I'm gonna assume it's right.
But
yeah.
like now he makes fucking anime, so
Yeah, he's irrelevant. Move on. Next topic.
No, like, you know how if you spend enough time on animation in general and you start having a good eye for it, you could have the potential to become professional.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, technically I also am a professional because I made animations for money, and it's like, yeah, that's all it takes. I made animations for one fighting game. Too bad
Yeah,
that
like,
dude paid me fucking $20
no, I mean,
for
I'm not
like
talking
half a
about,
year of work.
yeah, and I'm not talking about just that. Like, when you have a good eye for animation, eventually all it takes is getting used to the new industry standard tools.
I mean,
Or
yeah, that's one thing, but also like you need to have connections to get a job in the first place, I suppose.
yeah, that's also a thing. But like, basically, if someone like an elite basically decides to become professionally, and he has like all the tools needed and the skill sets, he could well be some of the better candidates
Yeah,
among other people who graduated from schools.
yeah, essentially.
That's
I
also
mean,
something to consider, you know.
like you know the guy Tuna, Harry. Basically, he told me that he got onto an animation university not so long ago, and like he was looking at the demo reels for like the people who actually got there and who graduated, and most of them were like not great at all. So like he thinks he would be able to do better from the skills that he learned with Pivot. So like that's something to keep in mind, that even animating in Pivot lets you learn some important stuff relating to animation in general, so that you can apply it in other forms of it.
God, I was an animation major for one
Yes,
single day.
I
Never again.
remember him. Like, I remember him talking about his days in the animation school, and he has been talking about how he was the first of his class almost every time, just thanks to Dark Demon alone.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I just remember the server started off from Blade Master. I don't know why that just came to me.
Yikes.
Oh yeah,
The
it
Rising
has.
Sun clan.
I mean,
also
to be
not-
fair, that was back when he wasn't an asshole.
Oof.
Oh,
Remember when
man.
clans were a thing? That lasted like a month before failing the server.
Yikes. Yeah, fucking hell.
I also appreciate the fact that he is responsible for 2 successful servers.
No. What was the
I
second
mean, to
one?
be fair, like, you're giving him way too much credit, because he bailed after, like, one drama, and he left the server to me and Gary. So,
Yeah, but
like,
he started them.
so, like, he created it, but we made it great, essentially.
Make Dark Demon
Right.
Discord great again.
I mean, to be fair,
cheating.
that would require Dark Demon's Discord to be great in the first place.
Oh man. Throwing some real
That
slang.
should be our slogan.
Make Dark
Dark
Demon
Demon.
Sota okay.
Make it acceptable.
Make it acceptable again.
Let's see. Should he learn to draw? Up to you.
I mean,
Can't draw.
like, if you want to pursue like traditional animation, you definitely, like, it would definitely be good for you to learn at least the basics of drawing.
I mean,
But like, you don't have to be super good at it, cause like in animation, like, detail doesn't really matter in motion.
Yeah.
So you don't have to learn how to draw detail. Like, most of the stuff that you need to learn is perspective, anatomy, like volume and stuff like that, and maybe some color theory as well. Because like a lot of people that are beginners in animation usually like choose the most oversaturated colors.
Bright yellow on dark pink.
Jeez.
That combination is awful. I
yeah,
did that once.
Oh dear.
we've all done it at some point,
I haven't.
I think. Okay, yeah, there you go.
Flame is perfect.
I'm perfect. I'm God.
Perfect being.
But in my opinion, should you learn to draw? I mean, anything beyond stick figures and pivots kinda does demand you to have at least some sort of a reservoir in terms of drawing. Even for 3D animation, which is like skeleton based, it kinda does require you to. Well, I mean, it doesn't require you, but it's a really good bonus to do those live gesture drawings because it will help you boost the dynamism of your pose because you get to learn about the concept of line of action and that other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like, learning the basics of animation from the 12 principles also teaches you some basic stuff about drawing. Like, as you mentioned, the line of action. It's
Yeah.
mentioned quite a lot in Richard Williams's
As well as
Animator's
partial
Survival
play.
Kit. So, like, yeah, like, the basics of animation should, like, usually suffice, but knowing how to draw is a great bonus for the most part.
I've also been watching some videos about Sony animators, and apparently they get art directors, like they get drawings from art directors, and they'll have to follow the exact same drawings using blend shapes. So like you'll have to mold the model to match the exact drawing just so that like the pose is punchy enough. So in that regard, the drawing is still important because without it, you're losing a lot of value from the end product. So
I mean,
like
maybe,
drawing-
like, I don't think this is standard in, like, most animation studios, so maybe it was, like, a
Well-
unique case.
well, any animation studio that doesn't rely on mocap.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, to be fair, even with mocap, like, most stuff is touched up by animators later.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I never learned how to draw, but I also only like drawing stick figures, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all
and
I
dicks.
need.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. It
Okay,
is sort of
so
hard to draw you over and over again. Dab.
dab on them haters.
Alright, how to be an acceptable member in the community. Don't be a jerk. That's about it. That's baseline.
Like,
Yeah.
don't be a Nazi, don't be a jerk. That's the basic two things
Yeah.
that you need to.
You follow those two rules, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
And
essentially.
don't
Alright.
Yeah, sorry, I'm recording a podcast for a stick figure forum.
You guys understand. The OGG
No,
band
we
members
don't.
used to ridicule.
You're never excused.
I don't remember the OG DD dudes ridiculing people for uploading Pivot to YouTube. Like
I mean, I don't remember like it being a thing back when I was
yeah.
around.
It definitely wasn't a thing because I know people had threads with their YouTube animations in them and nobody ever cared.
I mean, they ridiculed them for different things, but definitely not for use for like uploading them to
They
different
just
sites.
ridiculed them for being bad. That was
Yeah,
basically
essentially.
the old Dark Demon model. That's why Droids hates us.
Yeah, like droids still thinks that we are dicks. But like most of the people who they think are dicks are no longer on the forum anyway.
Yeah,
So, like forum, Discord more like, because the forum is dead.
yeah. Not a lot of people are on the forum. How are ranks still relevant? I mean, they aren't really. Just enjoy what you do.
I mean, they aren't really that relevant because, like, they weren't really that helpful in the first place. I personally don't think. Like, they usually were, like, very vague, very, like, what's its name? Very arbitrary rules for, like, animation. That if you fell under this and that rule, then you would be good, and if not, then you would be bad. Like animation is far too huge of a medium to like be able to rank people, because like we wouldn't know at some higher level what would be a personal choice, what would be a stylistic choice, and what would be an actual mistake. Like we wouldn't be able to tell. Like with beginners, it's fairly easy, especially with in stick figures, but with higher level people, like what you might think is a mistake to other person it would be appealing and stuff like that, unless like it's obviously looking wrong and stuff. So
Yeah,
that's my hot take on that.
yeah, and people call an easy shortcuts as a stylistic choice.
Oh god.
That's
mean-
also like a big thing.
I mean, to be fair, like I personally think that it's perfectly okay to use some shortcuts, like for example smears in animation. Like they were always used to like conserve the amount of frames necessary for a movement, like even in traditional like industry animation. And like while some purists might consider it quote unquote cheating, I don't personally think there's such a thing as cheating in like an art medium where you can essentially do anything. Like
Yeah.
of course if you like make it look unappealing, then of course it will like not be liked. But if you manage to make it work, then more power to you, and like it's not cheating if you make it work, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how some people have a romanticized view of animation and art in general. I mean, if you go back in history, you'll see a lot of artists and animators would use all sorts of trickeries to get good-looking end products. And just because like the technology has advanced, we've become a little I don't know how to put it. A bit salty about it.
Yeah, like we have another point, like later on that will touch up more on that subject.
But like, yeah, I mean, and to go back to the question, how are ranks still relevant? I mean, that's basically what makes Dark Demon relevant.
I mean, sorta. Was like, uh,
Because most beginners you see would just come in and be like, rank me, please.
yeah, because like they know that that dark demon is this particular thing. Like they come here because there are ranks, and because there are ranks, people get ranked. Like it's
Yeah,
like a sort of vicious circle, I suppose. Like if there weren't ranks, people would still join, but they wouldn't be aware that they were ranks in the first place, and they would
probably.
still sort of post animation and stuff.
I don't know, because if there weren't ranking, which is most of what people seem to be looking for here, I don't think many people would be joining. I mean, we would plateau at a maximum number of 100 members, if at
Yeah.
all.
Maybe. And also another thing is that some people like hyperfixate on ranks, and that is also a very unhealthy mindset, in my opinion
Yeah.
at least. Like if you
Just,
don't animate for your own enjoyment, but like or like enjoyment of others, but for like a rank, just the title that is next to your name. Then like what is even the point?
Yeah.
Like if that like gives you a sense of accomplishment, then by all means go for it.
Literally, the only
But
reason I care about
still.
ranks is because I beat Stefan the Veteran, which I told him I would do someday, and then I did. I don't care anymore. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah, I mean back in like the pivot animation.net days, I used to like compete with Sifter and some other people on the race to intermediate and stuff. Sadly, I was beaten, I think.
Oh, I know.
But still.
I think I beat Stefan the Intermediate too. Nice. Take that.
but like, basically, yeah. I mean, God, I swore I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
Oh well, never mind.
Oh man. Criticism. Unslated CNC. Rudeness while CNCing. All that jazz. Is being rude justified with CC? I mean, nah. Don't be a. I mean, I believe if you're trying to help somebody improve, don't be a jerk to them unless that's how they learn and tell you.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like
God.
a great example would be me, because like I used to be a massive fucking dick back in like a year or two ago. Like I used to shit on people's animations a lot, and like I was surprised. Oh, why are they getting mad and not learning? And now I sort of changed my approach, and instead just told them what is wrong, what you should improve, and like what looks sort of okay about the thing that you're doing. And like I guess that works way better. So like when you're seeing someone, don't just tell them, oh, I don't like this, or oh, this looks shit, because that doesn't help. Instead, like you could say, like pinpoint exactly what you don't like, exactly what you think looks off, and what should be done to change it. Because like that is the point of constructive criticism. It's supposed to help the other person improve.
Yeah, because people need to learn to differentiate between constructive criticism and destructive criticism, because destructive is also a thing that does exist. And when you just solely bash on someone's animation, which the dude has most likely spent some time and effort on, you're not good. First of all, you've wasted time because the guy has not taken from your quote-unquote criticism, and second of all, you've sort of hurt the guy's emotions, because in the end, art in general is still a personal thing that you hold dearly in your heart. So like, however cheesy that sounded, but but like, you know, basically, if you want to give CNC to someone, you have to say what's bad about it. And like Flame said, how to fix it, and you could even go the extra mile and show them how to do it. Like, for example, how I do, very rarely, but like when I give CNC to someone, I would try to attempt to animate the same thing and see if I could do it better to show them how could it be done.
Yeah, and also one more thing would be unsolicited CNC. Like, if someone isn't really asking for CNC in like the freestyle channel and stuff, like you don't have to criticize their work. You can just say that you like it or not. But like, if you just tear into them before like you even ask if they want CNC, then you're wasting both your and their time.
Yeah.
Like writing a huge ass paragraph describing what is wrong, what you don't like, and stuff like that. That's essentially a waste of time if they don't want to hear it in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's always better to just ask, hey, do you want CNC on that? And like, it doesn't take long, and it helps a lot. It helps like filter people who don't want CNC from people who actually do want CNC and who do want to improve. So yeah.
Exactly. And you know what I notice, and not just Dark Demon, but in other communities, basically when someone unsolicitedly gives CNC, and the other guy complains, the guy who gave the CNC has been like, well, if you didn't post your animation for CNC, what else do you want to post your animation for?
Yeah. And also, like, one more thing is like when like some people think that, oh, if you dare get upset by receiving CNC, you are weak and you should leave. Like, that's a fucking stupid approach in my opinion, because like it's normal. Like, people have emotions, people get attached to their works, like, and like for the most part the main audience for Pivot is children. Children happen to get emotional sometimes, and like if you really think that if someone sort of gets upset and doesn't accept your CNC, that they should just fuck off and die and leave, then like you're the problem, not them.
Yeah. People need to learn that fact.
Alright, let's see. Elitism, gatekeeping, stuff like that. Pivot community is notorious for that, especially LDD. Yeah, that's why Droids hates us.
Yeah, and like elitism and gatekeeping, especially. Like, as for gatekeeping, like, and a great example would be how people on Old Dark Demon fucking tore into people who dared like not animate on ones, but like animate on twos or threes. So like, yeah, like, oh my god, it's so choppy and stuff like that. Like, it's becoming like less of a thing. Like,
yeah, thankfully.
So thankfully it's becoming less of a thing now. But like, we still have some way to go, I guess, because some people still are elitist about it.
I mean, we're going the right path nowadays, which is a good thing.
Yeah. And yeah, like we still have some elitism in Pivot, and like elitism related to Pivot. Like, if you for example post animations in Pivot on stuff like Hans Dojo or Stick Page, you usually get questions like, oh, why the hell do you use Pivot? Why don't you move on to Flash? Yada yada yada. Well, the main reasons for that would be that the workflow is way different, and that Pivot is like way more accessible than Flash, way more accessible than 3D animation, and like, it doesn't require you to know how to draw. It doesn't require you to like know how to use a complicated program like Flash. It doesn't require you to like manage timelines and stuff like that, which is quite a shame in my opinion, because there's no timeline layers. But that's beside the point. But yeah, like, elitism in animation is still quite a huge thing, but hopefully it like becomes way less of a thing in the future. Like like Sifter said, we're on the right path, but we still have some way to go. And yeah,
That appears to be all we have.
yeah, it would appear so.
Whoa.
Well,
Whoa, okay,
let's be talking about
that was great.
Yeah. You
I mean,
did it.
any closing words from you guys?
Yeah, I have nothing to say.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, like, to summarize, like, don't be a dick while CNCing.
general.
Like, or in general, yeah. Like, animate what you want. Like, there's no such thing as cheating in animation as long as you make it work. And, like, if you want to practice the basics, you can do it. Like, it's not... It doesn't, like, make you unable to animate some Dragon Ball on the side. Like, if you animate some basics and then Dragon Ball, it won't be like some fucking heresy or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, can we talk about the ongoing collabs?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Oh, sure.
Oh, we got the
Red Bottom collab.
Yeah, there's like the Chow joint, and we also have the Inter's joint too.
Yeah, and we have Red Bottom collab.
Let's not talk about that. It'll get finished
Wait.
someday.
Someday,
What
maybe.
collab?
The Nothing collab.
The Nothing collab?
Oh, we also have the Failed collab.
Yes.
Which has
Oh,
been
the
going on
failed
for
collab
years
that
now.
failed.
Guess it does live up to its name.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. I mean,
That's,
yeah, I don't know what to say about that.
And like, yeah, also relating to the collabs, as we said earlier, stuff like DDC 14 or the Beginner's Joint might be a thing if there's enough people willing to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I've been getting some requests to host like some sort of a sequel to Walks of Life, but not really. More like Runs of Life or whatever. Do you think we should do it?
Motions of life.
I mean,
Runs of Life.
I mean, sure. Like,
well,
again,
like
if
5
there's
minutes,
enough,
maybe.
if there's enough people to like do
Like-
parts for it, then sure, go ahead.
Basically, the thing about collabs, especially here, if it's not simple enough to do, you really cannot count on its success.
Yeah.
That's basically why Walks of Life has worked 3 times in a row, and the only reason why the 4th one never saw the light of day is because I didn't let it.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why it succeeded is because it was fun to animate, and it was like really simple to do.
Yeah, like either like you have a very flexible topic, or have a very easy topic. Like
Yeah.
Dark Demon collab, like it doesn't have a theme usually,
Yeah, whatever.
and like you can animate whatever you want as long as it's great. Like as long as it's like your magnum opus essentially.
I consider Dark Demon collab as some sort of a showreel of
Yeah, like show reel of like the best animators.
yeah, pretty much. So like I don't know. It's kind of sad at the same time because nothing ambitious can really come out of the community at this point.
I mean, again,
got the
it's
South
good
Street.
because we had an influx of new people, and like if there was enough people to like make parts for it, then sure, it could potentially be successful because we have a ton of new veterans, a ton of new intermediates.
Yeah, but there's also this phenomena where the higher your rank is, the lazier you get.
I mean, it's not really that the higher your rank is, the lazier you get, because usually most veterans and most like better intermediates are way older than the rest of the people, and they have like more life stuff in the way.
Yeah, in the most part, anyway.
Yeah, and like some people lose interest, some people move on to other things, but like still, as long as there would be enough people, we could make it work.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, I'm down for whatever, but
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I mean,
to host anything.
Yeah,
Personally, I need to make sure that it will work.
yeah, and
Otherwise,
also,
I wouldn't host it.
like a bit of a meta topic, but like as for the next Demoncast, we could make it like more frequent than like the last ones.
Yeah.
As long as like we get enough questions and we get enough people willing to do it. So yeah,
Why, you wanna make it monthly or weekly?
I mean we could make it monthly, we could make it bi-weekly, we could make it whatever.
I can do
As
pretty much
long as
whatever,
there's
as
enough
long as
people
someone-
to yeah, as long as there's enough people like actually watching it or listening to it more like and like there's enough people who actually like it, and we could like make it more regular, I suppose. And yeah, I guess that would be it.
Wait, what about pivot points?
Oh yeah, pivot points is the
Oh
thing.
yeah, pivot points is a thing, and it was a thing before
Let's
on the
see.
forums, but we brought it to the Discord server.
Right now, Boy B is in the lead with 66 points.
God, wait,
Wow.
how did he even do it?
He's just pumping out those animations.
Yeah, essentially.
He just does a lot of them?
Yeah, pretty much.
Huh. I mean, if that's the case, then pivot point is easily exploitable.
Yeah, we need to figure out this stuff still.
I mean, yeah, we are figuring it out. So, yeah, it's not
Because
perfect, but
like-
we will make it work.
Yeah, in my opinion, you shouldn't be doing animating the same prompts twice.
Oh, nobody's doing that anymore.
yeah,
We
that's
cut
how
that
it should.
rule out. And we were talking about doing bonuses for length and creativity. We just need to figure those out still.
Yeah.
Or not even bonus
think-
for length, but like you have to meet a certain length requirement for lengthier topics.
I say we should keep it as simple as possible for the first while.
I mean, yeah, we can worry about it next month.
Hmm?
We'll just worry about it next month, if anything. When we
Yeah.
do
Yeah, exactly.
Season 2 of Pivot Points.
I mean, that seems to be the case.
I mean, I think I don't have anything else to input.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I'm
That's
done.
Alright, stay tuned for another one of these coming sooner or later. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you for listening.
or whenever, you know.